All right, let's start cleaning up our code a little bit more and switching it around. So the first thing we're going to do is down here where inside our main, let's just create some space here because we're going to use definitely a lot more later on. So we have our standard space span here. I'm just going to remove this code here so it says just a span. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually also going to change this to a div instead. So remember to end it here with a div as well. If yours doesn't do it automatically, I can't remember why mine does it, but div start, div end, okay? That's the first one. So we're also going to assign an ID to this because we're going to use this to manipulate how it looks and changes with everything. So I'm going to call this menu toggle. So that's my ID for this. And I'm going to do this so it's a little bit easy to read. Now I'm going to delete the open icon that we have here, right? And inside the first part of this is the one we'll have with the 3 lines on top of each other. So we're going to create a div, or if you're using Emmet, we can actually do hashtag and call this Hamburger. Hamburger, sweet. Hamburger, like this. And we're also going to create one called cross. So this is the one that's going to be closing it, so it's showing us the cross that we're going to animate. And in the first one, we're going to use 3 spans to animate our 3 lines. And I'm going to use Emmet again, so span times 3 will create this, and we're going to create span times 2 because a cross has 2 lines and the hamburger has 3 lines, right? So that's the standard code for the HTML part. So let's quick do a save and let's jump into our styles here. I'm just going to minimize some of this, and that one, and that one, and that one, and leave these. So the first thing I'm going to do, actually I'm going to minimize that one too. First thing I want to do is I want to remove the padding from this main here because I don't want it. It's going to mess up my design later on. And in my body I'm going to add a few things, and I'm actually also going to attach an HTML up here and do the curly brackets like this. And I'm going to leave this blank for now because I'll show you what we need to do later on. And I'm going to add a piece of code to that I'm going to copy paste, and this is just importing my Google font, and in this case Roboto. So if you have done this before, you can just go do this, get this from Google Fonts and choose it. Or you can just copy it or type it out like it is here. So add import URL, a single quotation mark, and this here, right? In my body here, I'm going to do, instead of the font family of Lato, whatever it's called, I'm going to use the, let's go kill and do Roboto instead. And I'm going to add a margined without the D, 0, so we are having all our to the edge of the browser instead of having a margin. I'm just going to set up a font weight as well to make sure everything is correct, and 200. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a position relative here, so relative, so all our elements inside know this is the parent element, which is already kind of is, but whatever. So now this is set up, and let's click save for this one. Let's just scroll down here, and yeah, let's do it after this one. So we're going to set up our menu toggle that we already assigned in our HTML, so like this. And we're just going to assign some values real quick to it so we can actually just make sure it's there. We're going to set it for 100 pixels, and the same with height. So 100 pixels in this case. Let's just do a background to check it real quick. Color red. Woo! So right now we still have it here, right? So we can still open close it. It's really pretty red. Woo! But yeah, in the next couple of videos, we're going to set up a lot of the HTML, the CSS, and some jQuery to actually animate it. So see you in the next couple of videos.